Oh, it's been quite a year. I think as a nation we've had to mourn some tragic losses, and of course on the evening of Saturday the 18th of March we lost probably one of the greatest actors ever to grace South African TV screens, film and certainly stage. And while the industry is going to have a massive hole left in it by his passing, I think Joe Mafela is going to be missed most of all by those who knew him best.
Uyabona FK lento hele ukuchitha isikhathi phela ngempela uyazi ufika uthathe ke leli bhola elincane ke bese ufika uyalibeka phansi ke uwelo ke sozushaya angithi manje
He was an actor, director, producer and even an acclaimed songwriter. Joe Mafela was a true icon of the entertainment industry and an inspiration to all South Africans.
This week, South Africa changed because Joe Mafela passed away, and I think for many people, it was the end of an era for television as they knew it. But luckily we have with us Thembi Mtshali-Jones, who was one of the faces who was with him in his time on Goodies Nice and even beyond. For you, how did the world change when you got that phone call?
It's a Sunday I will never forget in a very long time. People started calling. And then I decided to let me call Roberta. Roberta is also Joe's business partner and a friend. And Roberta just said to me, yes, it's true. You know, I've known Joe from my early days on television in the 80s. I was very new on television, but Joe was already a star.
I affirm that all these documents will be ready by lunchtime.
What a bad workload for you today, Mr. Jacobus.
Mafela is also best known for his role as the Lovables Dumo in Is Goodies Nice. The sitcom was also the start of a long friendship and business partnership with Roberta Durrant.
Joe wasn't really involved in our dramas. I mean, there were lots of other people involved in our dramas, but his beat was comedy. His brilliance lay in creating those characters that he created, the ordinary guy, the man on the street really, trying to survive, but with this comic undertone. He understood it, and therefore he could portray it in such a rounded and integral way. He had a nickname for me. He used to call me a handbrake, because he used to say that when I appeared on the scene, things would slow down, because I was correcting things. He always used to say, oh, here comes handbrake. That was his nickname for me.
You'll be surprised that Joe was actually very shy. Wow. You know, in his, as a person in his real life. Sometimes I used to feel for him when I'm walking with him in the street and the kids would say, and I would actually get angry and say, you can't be calling, this is an adult. You can't. And Joe said, well, I introduced myself on TV as Imbungulu, so I can't blame them. You know, but Joe was like that. The way he treated everyone the same, you know, young and old. He respected people the same way.
Joe Mafela lived his life to heal and unite South Africans through laughter and during the good and bad times of the country's political history. He will be remembered as an icon.
Joe was a teacher, and his passion was working with young people. He's really left a big legacy of which we have to take over and continue with his work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's sure.
Yeah.
You do have a lot of work to do, I suppose. Now, I suppose
yeah.
He's handed it over to you somehow.
Yeah, it's it's heavy. It's really heavy. It's really heavy.
He actually reached all South Africans. You know, everybody knew Joe. It wasn't a particular part of the South African community that knew him. Everybody knew Joe. And he related to everybody. And he understood the show must go on. He understood that very well. I have a deep respect for him and a deep love for him.